Folks, today we are asking a very critical question. Who shall lead this country, the great country of South Africa, ladies and gents? Never could have been a politician. Never could have been a Chapter 9 institution. Never could have been the media. All these media darlings that they keep giving us. Who is going to save South Africa? And in 2029, who is going to lead this country? That's what we want to know. Even organizations like the South African Human Rights Commission, at this point we have established that they only operate for the interest of illegal foreigners. The EFF recently also opened a case against Operation Dudula. So we know who's who. We know who's for illegal foreigners and who's for South Africans. That is already established. It has been established clear as day. Even our government, President Ramaphosa says, Dudula, they're a vigilante group. We must deal with these people.
Who are setting up the organization saying, Bo Dudula, Bo Mangmang, Rere. That is contravening the law. We cannot allow a situation where we are going to get people who will embark on vigilantism to deal with a problem, a social problem.
Right? They are saying we must allow Home Affairs to do its job. We must allow the police to do their job. Home Affairs, ladies and gentlemen, we know they sell IDs. Everybody in the mama knows this. They sell IDs, and if you go there without putting an appointment, which most of our people can't because they don't have data, poverty is at an all-time high in South Africa. If you go there without putting an appointment, we know you are going to stand there forever, and you might come back because the system is down. Said the system is down.
State. Yeah. This. Yeah. State. Yeah. This the road, dude. This ain't no state property. This is private property.
That's what they tell you. That the system is down. So you must trust that particular department to do their job. Mokwanasi just came out, in July, telling us what he told us about Sibia, General Sibia, Minister Mkunu. He's already told us these things. Y'all NPCs, non-player characters are still out there saying, trust the government, trust the police. I think the problem in this country really is the people who think you can trust the government. The government must do this. The government must take the land and give it to black people for free. The government must create opportunities. The government must. I think the biggest problem in this country, next to females who believe in Indota must, is the people who say the government must. Those are the greatest threat to our country. And you combine all of these people with the South African Human Rights Commission, all these politicians, all these mainstream journalists who give us bogus angles. I don't know. If you are going to report a story, tell me, ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to report a story and you do not tell the truth, you come with an angle. Is it still the truth? I've listened to these media people speak, mainstream media people especially. They say, no, you have to approach it with an angle. Even if when you go to the university and you sit in a journalism class, when they teach you about how to cover a story, they're going to tell you, no, you have to approach it from an angle. An angle is not the truth. It's your perception of the truth. It's what you want the truth to be. So I don't trust them. I don't trust none of them. Mainstream media, nobody. So I still ask that question. Who will lead South Africa? The ANC clearly failed. The black people, they failed. The very extremist politicians during the apartheid who were part of the NP, the National Party, very extreme people who were part of that particular organization said about our black leaders that the black people can govern. Why are you giving them this country? De Klerk said, no, we need a rainbow nation. We can co-govern. And unfortunately, the black government betrayed him, betrayed the National Party. So today we are living with a reality that the black people since 1994 till 2025 can govern. A lot of the people in our community as the black people, will look at that and say, it's racist. It's racist to say black people can govern. But as an objective citizen, faculties of reason very high, IQ levels, we don't play with it. We look at this and we see these people have failed everywhere you look. Infrastructure destroyed. All of these parastatals that you see in South Africa that have been destroyed by the ANC were put up by the NP, the National Party during apartheid, put these things up. Each and every year there's always a bill. There's always a parastatal that we have to bail out with our taxes. We bail out non-working parastatals. We feed corrupt politicians and their children to be affluent, to go to private schools and live the best lives, and look at us and say we are poverty-stricken people. Remember they used to call us povos during COVID? Povos, say poverty-stricken. Who will save South Africa, ladies and gentlemen? You see, if you are still living among the youth, especially the 60% youth that are eligible to vote, if you are still existing amongst those people who say, well, I'm eligible to vote, but I'm not going to go vote, this country will always be what it is. I mean, if you are a fully grown adult, maybe if you are below 25, we'll give you some grace, but you are still expected to vote and make rational decisions when you vote. But if you are below that, your frontal lobe hasn't really developed, it's okay, we can give you some grace. But if you are above 25, there's no way you look somebody in the eye and ask, why am I voting and who am I going to vote for with your grown fat ass? That's what you are going to say. Who am I going to vote for? Really? As an adult, in a few years, maybe if you don't already have babies, you're expected to bring a baby on this earth and provide for them. Make sure that they have the best future possible. And you still come to us with damn questions. Low IQ people questions. And asking us, why am I voting? First of all, I feel like giving you a hot slap before I answer the dumb question. Because honestly, it is dumb. So still I ask, who shall save this country? When even the people who can vote a corrupt government out don't even do it. They say, no, we can't do it. Sometimes you tend to be kind and try to listen. People say, well, we don't have hope and whatever. But if you don't do anything about the situation, then how is it going to change? There's no hope because of the current government, but you don't want to vote them out. So you don't care. You don't care about the future. You say you do, but you don't. You say it with your mouth, but your actions believe it differently. Psyop. A lot of people have been psyoped in this country to believe that their vote has no voice. And these are the very same people who will tell you, when you mention how corrupt and horrible the ANC is on the internet, they'll say, well, we are only angry on the internet. We are only angry on TikTok. Bro, me, I'm angry enough. I keep speaking about these people. I'll speak about them till the end of my time. That's how angry I am. I go vote. I do my part. You guys don't do your part. You want us to take our time from our busy schedules, go out and protest and get tear gassed over there. We don't want to do that. We are a new generation. We can talk. We can negotiate. This is not 1967. This is 2025. We can have a dialogue. We can speak. We can reason. I don't want to be out there throwing, what do you call this? A petrol bomb. That's not me. I put on a suit. I say, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Amazing. What seems to be the problem? Let's address it. Conflict resolution. What do you know about conflict resolution? What do you know about conflict resolution? These people don't know nothing about conflict resolution. So still I ask, who shall save South Africa? We get to have movements like Operation Dudula, who says we do not want illegal foreigners in this country. And honestly, that is a sentiment shared by most South Africans. Most South Africans truly think we do not need to coexist with illegal foreigners who hate our way of life. They come here, they call South Africans lazy. They say we abuse women, but they come here, they want to live among us. They say we are xenophobic. We hate them at every turn. But given a chance to leave and go to their non-xenophobic countries, they don't go. And nobody's coming to save South Africans. South African Human Rights Commission, the EFF, they are saying, you know what? You guys, you should coexist with these people. And if you do not, you are bad people. And I don't know where this thing comes from, where all of a sudden you are a bad person for protecting your own resources. for protecting your own country, for being patriotic, for understanding that there's probably an old lady, Mema Kumalo, somewhere who was born in the Free State, who doesn't have medical aid because her children probably left her in the hood. She needs medical attention. You want to go take her to the hospital and 5 beds in front of her have been taken by illegal foreigners. We are bad people for protecting those people. All of a sudden in this country, you are a bad person for protecting this country. The person who shall save this country, ladies and gentlemen, must have balls of steel, must have unshakable cojones to make the unpopular decisions, to tell you, this is what we are going to do. We are going to deport each and every illegal immigrant and the imam. You deport the father, the kid, and the mother because it is very immoral to separate a kid from their parent. So we deport all of them. Whether you were born here, you were not born here, you are gone. It is very evil for a government to separate a mother from their child, a father from their child. So we deport all of them. All of them must go. No, we don't choose. This thing that parents will come here illegally and then have a kid here, and then all of a sudden that kid is a legal South African citizen. No. Garbage, if you ask me. At the end of the day, the only thing that will save South Africa is the truth. We should have the spirit of telling each other the truth as black people. That none of these communists are helping us. None of these communists have done anything to develop this country. I mean, the ANC is a communist organization. Nobody's going to tell me otherwise. The ANC is a communist organization. You look at their association with the South African Communist Party. You look at their association and the full might and power they've given to trade unions to harass employers in this country. You look at how we have failed to grow this economy. This is communism. Communism 101. Nobody is going to tell me otherwise, ladies and gentlemen. Tough times that we are living in. Only the truth will save us. And the truth is that our black leaders have put us in a situation that we are in. And most black people in South Africa are racist. They will vote for criminals to be in power before they ever consider somebody who's won an award to be the best mayor in the world. Helen Zille. They'll say, well, she's racist, she's white, she's all of these things. But they are very comfortable to put Kenny Kunene over there. They are very confident to put Ramaphosa, who stifled 500,000 inside mattresses, 500,000 rands of, in fact, not 500,000 rands. It is US dollars of untaxable money. Very comfortable to put him there. Some very low IQ people have told us we miss Zuma, as if load shedding was not started under his administration, as if unemployment never erupted under his administration. They'll tell you, no, we miss Obaba. They call him Obaba. Bro, imagine having a brother or a husband or somebody of significance like this who looks at Zuma and calls him Baba. You must leave that thing. Because what is this? The model for wealth creation in South Africa. People always hypothesize and dream about just breaking the law or getting some lump sum magically from Lotto or something like this. People don't believe, just like I do, that you have to sit down like this in front of a camera and speak your mind. Work hard, post a video, get 0 views, do it again, get 1 view, do it again, get 2 views, do it again, get 20,000 views. People don't want to do that. They're going to want to tell you that poverty is the reason why people tend to criminality, as if we were born with silver spoons. I was also born in poverty, but a crime is never something that I chose. So it's a personal choice thing, whether you are going to go into crime, throw your life away and destroy it. So here we are addressing that issue of hopelessness, the people who say they don't have hope, so they resort to criminality. It's a choice thing. Majority of young black people are born in poverty. That is true. Is it due to apartheid? No, it's due to a failing government that is failing to create employment and opportunities for its people and actually take effort to educate them. This government allows 30% in the classroom for a kid to pass. to go to the next grade. So everything works against you. If you are still thinking the government is coming, white people are racist, wara 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 wara, it's chai for you. You are finished, you know. Those who are living a life of comfort using these ideologies, they are only comfortable for now because it's not looking good. We saw what happened in Nepal, you know. As the young people, we must rise up, bro. We must stop this thing of people saying, no, we are victims of apartheid, wara wara. We must take charge. Take charge. Do things ourselves. Fail and get back at it again. If it is the system standing in our way of success, we must destroy that particular system. A lot of us, what is standing in our way as young black people is the fact that in our community, there's no accountability and responsibility. For example, there's 70% fatherlessness. We know the literature on this. We always talk about this. We've been through this already. There isn't a sense of organization in terms of tackling our political problems because everybody always wants to blame apartheid. You blame apartheid and you bring in racism as part of the subject matter, and you have won the emotions and the hearts of black people. They're not going to think with their hearts. Those who do get up and go to the polls, they vote against anything white just because it is white. I was not born during apartheid. I don't care about none of that. I care about the fact that in our community, are we able to take responsibility? Are we able to take accountability? A lot of people don't want to do that. So still again, I ask, who shall lead us? The person must be straightforward, must not mince his words, and must take decisive action in leading and changing this country. So whether it is going to be a black person, white person, Indian person, it doesn't matter. I always say, just like the Prime Minister of Singapore once said, I don't care if a cat is black or white. As long as it catches mice, it's a good cat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love my content, hit that sub button, hit that like button, open the notifications so that you are notified every time we upload a new video. And your boy is out of here. We the people, we see the truth.